Hey, it's Bill. I came here from my desert island to record a new video for you. So we are going to create a Node.js application today. And this Node.js application will use the Zowe CLI to communicate with our helper. So to send commands for recaf, to resume and revoke IDs, and this answer could be provided later for any kind of front-end web application and mobile device or any external services, for example, like a chatbot. Okay, so here is our project. The only file I have here is the .env, so is where all my credentials for my helper is stored. And we are going to initialize this project right now. So yarn you need line, and we are going to add the modules that we are going to use in this project. So express.env to read that .env and the Zowe CLI. While this is running, let's create our folder source here, so where our code will be hosted. Okay, we are here on our index.js where we are going to start our server. So the first thing we are going to use here is express and we are going to create our app. And this app will be listened on port 3000. Now I'm going to create a routes file. And on routes, we're going to use the router. And create a routes. And we are going to have two routes here, one for resume and another for revoke the IDs. And we are going to get them from the post. On the post, we are going to expect the user ID on route resume for the resume. And I will be creating another file called Zowe controller dot resume. So this will be our function to resume the IDs. Oh, a mistake here. And the second route to revoke. So controller revoke. And I will export this. Okay, so this Zowe controller will come from another file, const Zowe controller, and this file will be on folder controllers, and the file will be Zowe controller.js. Okay, so the routes is ready. I will use that here, const routes. Our app will need to use JSON and our routes. Perfect. So let's create the controller file now. In here, we are going to use Zowe. So to talk with Zowe, like we would be using on our terminal, we need to create a profile, right? So I will create now a profile object here, and this we'll have host, and I'm gonna take that from the process.env dot mainframe host. I will also have the port, the user, and the password. All of that through a comma, and the last parameter rejected and authorized, false. Okay, I'm ready to start working with Zowe, and I'm going to export this function. So I'll start with the module.export here, and we're going to have a function for resume. We need to communicate with external servers, so we need to wait for this answer. So this will be an async function. And I'm gonna take the user ID from the request.body, and I'm gonna create the session using that profile. And to create a session, we're going to use Zowe, the function to ZOSMF session, and the create basic ZOSMF session. And if we just hover the mouse here, we see that we just need the profile here. So, okay. Okay, I'm ready now to send the command to the server. And for that, I will take the answer back on a command response. So what we're going to do is issue TSO command. So issue TSO, and the issue TSO command. So as we can see here, this expects to receive the session, the account number as a string, the command as a string, and there are some start params that are optional. So let's go with this one. So the session, the account code, and the command. So the command we are going to use is the out user, and this user is coming from the request to this API. Resume. Now we just return that. Okay, so this will be the first function to resume. We also want to revoke the IDs, right? So I'm gonna just change this here to revoke, and also, oh, there is a typo here, revoke. Okay, perfect. So we are all settled. Just let me just confirm. Oh, it's missing something here. So let's just enable these environment variables through the .end module. Okay, that's it. We are ready. We can now start our server and see what happens. Okay, that's a good thing. Everything started. Okay, so I'm going to use now this insomnia to send the request for resume. And this is the idea I'm gonna resume. Let's see what happens. Okay, So there was a typo here on the reject unauthorizer. Fixing that, restarting the server, and let's try again. Okay, communication is happening with my LPAR. And I see the response. Perfect. So that's working. We can now just improve, add other functions, and add a front end for that. And we have now an API to start using, to start playing with Zowe CLI on a Node.js application. Thanks all. Bye bye.